Hey friends, and welcome to the Revive Everyday Living podcast.
We are your hosts, Courtney
and Sharaya, and we're talking everything from life situations, relationships,
friendships, and parenting,
and all our adventures.
So stick around because
we are getting real. Hey y'all.
Happy Friday.
We are so excited to see y'all, or to hear y'all, and to chat with y'all again. Thank you for all of you that talk to us on Facebook and Instagram. We just really appreciate your support.
Yes, we are excited because we are bringing y'all another episode of Revive Everyday Living to Season 2.
Ooh, Season 2. Time has flown by.
Yeah.
And we're just grateful for you guys. I hope you guys are having a great summer.
Yes, this heat is crazy.
Oh my God, don't get me started on the heat. It is really, really hot in Texas. Mm-hmm. My mom says it's because it snowed. So the snow brought in like the hell of a heat wave. So, yeah.
Well, speaking of heat waves and heat and all that kind of stuff, last week we talked about a real good find that Sharaya liked when she went to Mexico, and it was the limonada. So today we want to try this little taste test with y'all. She's gonna make a quick little drink of this. We're also going to try 4 different sparkling waters. One of them is the AHA. Is that how you say it?
I think so.
AHA, and it's lime and watermelon. The other one that we're going to try is the Waterloo peach. Then the other one we're going to try is the LaCroix blackberry cucumber. I don't know why we're doing this, but it's kind of fun. And we want to know if y'all have your favorite sparkling water. If you do, put it in those comments below. Let us know. We want to try what you like also. So here we go. First time tasting this homemade limonada with Simply Lemonade and the sparkling water.
So y'all know Courtney's going to taste all of these. I will taste maybe 1 or 2 because I'm not adventurous.
This is really good. So she used the Simply Lemonade with the AHA. What is that flavor?
It is lime and watermelon.
Lime and watermelon. And it's really good. It would be really good like as a slushie.
Oh, yeah, like from
like
Sonic?
Yeah. Or even if you just make it at home and blend water, that would be blend it up in your blender. I think that'd be really good.
That does taste good.
Yeah. So half and half. Try that out. It's really good. That's what I have to say about that one. Okay. The next one we are trying is the AHA. What is it?
Mango and black tea sparkling water.
Okay. Let's try.
Let's try.
Because, not only are we real good finders, but we are taste testers now, too. So I'm going to tell you what this one tastes like. Oh, my.
It tastes like straight mango and that fizz.
That has, like, a very strong, like, carbonated feel to it, though. Like, it made me say, oh, my.
But that's, like, how all the sparkling water is, though, right? With that really carbonated taste. But the mango, I can taste it, but it smells nice.
Yeah.
It doesn't smell like mango.
Mm-mm. Well, it smells like a mango. It smells exactly what the name is, like the mango tea, like
black tea.
Yeah, it smells really good. It hits you hard with that carbonated feel, and it gives you like that hint of like mango taste, but water. I don't know. It's weird. Next.
Courtney doesn't really like that one.
I don't really care for that.
It wasn't okay. It was okay. I don't like mango, but it was more okay. And smell, if it smells ugly, then I generally won't taste. Yeah, I won't taste it. I won't drink it. Well, so the smell was nice.
Actually, my favorite sparkling water is really the H-E-B brand.
Which one is the H-E-B brand?
I didn't buy it because I already knew what it tasted like.
She didn't want to give y'all a review.
Yeah.
Okay, so now we have Waterloo sparkling water peach flavor. Now, I am not a fan of peach, but
You're going
I'm
big one for the team.
going in the deep, guys, okay? Out here being adventurous all summer long.
Here we go. Honestly, it tastes
Like water.
like water.
The flavor wasn't really...
It didn't hit you hard like the other one did, but it also that has a very strong carbonated feeling to it when you drink it. Like, oh my.
But that is what sparkling water is supposed to do. It's supposed to be like a soda replacement,
Oh
right?
my gosh, but the one from H-E-B doesn't hit you that hard. I don't know. I'm still for the H-E-B brand.
Okay.
Last one, and then we move on.
I mean, it wasn't a total bust, but...
No. Out of the 3 that we just had, of course, the limonada was my favorite. Just mix it with crushed ice, blend it up. It'll be really good as a smoothie. Out of those 2 other ones, I would probably say this mango one.
It had
The
more
AHA,
flavor.
The AHA one. Next, last one, LaCroix, blackberry, and cucumber. Okay.
Guys, this is about to be interesting because I definitely do not like either one of those.
Okay.
Blackberry or cucumber.
I honestly don't really care for LaCroix, but let's try this one.
So LaCroix has a cherry lime.
Mm-hmm.
That tastes really amazing. And you throw it with some lemonade, make you a limonada.
Okay. The smell, I can smell it.
It smells ugly. Oh my God. No.
It smells like blueberry. It's
It
okay.
smells like lotion.
What?
Yes. No.
Same product, totally different experiences. Okay, let me try one more time. Okay. LaCroix makes me think of like I'm gonna give you the scent, like the smell of it, but then when you drink it, it's just a trick. Like it doesn't really taste like anything. You're smelling more of what you're tasting. I don't know how to describe it.
So if you're one of those like eat with your eyes type of person or eat with your other senses, then taste, then they got you hooked because
Yeah.
you're assuming that you're drinking something that it does not taste like that at all.
Yeah.
It doesn't taste like anything to me. It smells ugly.
Well, because you don't like blackberry or cucumber.
No, but I do not taste any cucumber at all.
It's all the blackberry.
And I know what cucumber tastes like because when I was in Mexico, I had cucumbers.
I think a lot of people have had cucumbers.
I haven't. Like, this was
Never had a cucumber before.
No, this year was the first time I ever eaten it.
Oh my goodness. What did they put on it?
No, I just had it just straight, and then I had it with that Mexican stuff. What do you call that? The little
The
chili
chamoy
stuffy.
and chili
Yes.
and Tajin stuff.
Yes, I had that. I had it with that. And I mean, it was okay. And now this was the kicker. So in the mornings, they give you this like straight juice type thing. And so it was cucumber juice. Mm-hmm. And that was surprisingly really good.
But you don't like cucumber.
I do not. But, well, I didn't like it because I never had it. Sure. So that was my first encounter with it. Mm-hmm. She gave it to me as a drink, and then she gave it to me like just straight. Mm-hmm. And then she gave it to me with that chili stuff on it.
Top. And which one was your favorite? The drink?
The drink was my favorite, yes.
Okay. Well, out of these, I would probably have... Out of these, my favorite sparkling water is the H-E-B brand. I would probably just stick to regular water. But if I had to pick out of these, I will probably go with the AHA, A-H-A, in the mango and the black tea. How about you?
I will go with the AHA lime and watermelon.
With your lemonade?
With my lemonade, yes. Because sparkling water is not my jam.
Yeah.
But it does make you feel fancy.
Yeah, it does.
Now that my co-host is over here drinking mineral water and Fiji water, I have to keep up with her fanciness.
I'm just waiting for Trader Joe's to give us a sponsorship.
Yes.
Okay, so you just talked about Mexico.
I did.
Because you went back to Mexico a second time for your last vacation before we started full running of this season 2 of the podcast. And you had quite an experience. on a boat?
Oh, yes, I did. So I've been on boats before, and I've been deep sea fishing before, but it was very, 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 very different than that, because this was like more a smaller boat, and but we were pretty far out in the deep of the ocean, and there was nothing around us but water and blue skies and blue water and dark blue water and almost blue water and turquoise blue water. We were like deep and then the further you go, the water color changed. So that kind of was like a gauge of like, okay, you're getting deep, then you're kind of deep, then you're really, really deep.
Yeah.
Now you're out here, just you and Jesus deep. So it was quite an experience. And so I had my whole family with me. My kiddos are not a fan. And it just was that moment where we were out and you're kind of just like, okay, God, like you can't rely on anyone else because we're all in the deep. So like all my lifelines were here on the boat with me. So it was an experience. It was so beautiful. And I remember just sitting out and like just being in awe of God's glory and just like, you control all of this and you created all of this. And it was really amazing.
So you loved the experience.
Absolutely loved the experience.
But not everybody on that boat did.
No. And I think that that's the beauty of experiences. And I think that's the beauty of authenticity, right? So it was 6 of us on the boat. I thought it was utterly amazing. I thought it was breathtaking. And I mean, I was uber excited. My mom, she wasn't as excited as I was. She was more of, okay, yeah, I've done this before. I'm cool. And she was just chilling. My youngest was literally asleep. Like, absolutely knocked out at the bottom of the boat, pulled his towel out, put a pillow towel, and was so asleep. Like, asleep.
He was asleep.
And I'm like, we're feeling the same thing. Like, we're all in the same experience. We can see everything. And his option was, all right, cool, I'm going to bed.
Yeah.
And my daughter, she wasn't here for it. She liked it until we were all the way deep. And she was just, after that, she was like, no, I can't. And my husband, no bueno for him either.
He didn't like it either.
No. So the Captain Moses, he was really great. And so he was trying to console everyone and let them know, I've been doing this for 30 plus years. And it wasn't a storm. It was in the mornings. It was really bright outside. It was so gorgeous. The sun was hitting. And but the waves were just like really intense. And the further we would go into the deep, the higher the waves were. The waves were higher than the boat. And
oh, wow.
It like, I'm getting splashed and I'm like, oh my God, yes!
That is definitely.
And I'm like trying to take pictures, but all of my pictures, like, you couldn't even tell that it was a wave. It just looked like I was just in the water. And I'm like, oh my God, if you could just really see that this is above me. Like, it was taller than me, taller than the boat. And everyone else is just like, okay, yeah, no, I don't want to see, just chill out. So how much longer? And I'm like 1,001 pictures. And when we came back and we're just talking about the experience, I just realized that we can all be in one experience together and we all sense something different.
Right.
And I was happy that in that experience, I was able to teach the kids, like, when mom and dad can't fix it and when mom and dad have no control over situations, or we can't get to you, or any of those things, like, who do you call on?
Right.
You have to call on Jesus. And the beginning when we first went out and the waves started getting really intense, there was a moment that I was like, "Ooh, okay, hold on." And I had to, for me, one thing I say is something that our pastor taught me is Holy Spirit come and fear go. It works for me because when I went skydiving, I was sitting on that plane. I was like, okay, Holy Spirit come.
Yeah.
Because fear's trying to creep up here and I don't want to lose my money.
Yeah.
So, I'm on the boat with the kids and I'm like, okay, Holy Spirit come and fear go. For me as a parent to be able to experience something with them, invite the Holy Spirit in there, and I not be in control. Like, we are all depending on the Holy Spirit to comfort us,
right,
and to lead and guide our captain to our destination. And it was like a 6-hour ride, so it wasn't like just 30 minutes, take a deep breath and we got it. No, we were going, like, we went to 4 different bays. There's like little beaches and islands, and like, we were all over the ocean.
Yeah.
We were everywhere, and we had no control.
Yeah.
But I remember saying to myself, okay, not to myself, but to us as a family, let's experience together. Let's not turn back.
Yeah.
So in order for us to experience together, we all had to rely on the Holy Spirit. We all had to call him into this space with us, because it would have been easier for me to just say, okay, the kids don't like it. We're only 30 minutes out. Let's just turn around. But we all made a decision, like, no, we're going to do it together. And this is how we're going to do it. So it was pretty dope.
I really like that. And how similar is that to our own life journey? When we're going through things, it's not just, a 30-minute ride. It's a 6-hour long journey where we're facing these waves that are taller than us. We are not in control some of the times. And even though we have people that we can reach out to, like how you had your whole family on board and how you say that your whole lifeline was right there. Even though you had all those people, and we have people that we can reach out to when we're going through, different waves and storms sometimes in life, all of the time, our lifeline needs to be Holy Spirit and Jesus. Even the captain of the boat couldn't console you guys. Even though he had been there for 30-something years, it was kind of like, okay, yeah, whatever. But this waves are different from the ones that you sailed on yesterday. So sometimes even the people that have been through similar situations, they can give you advice, but it's not the exact same situation that you're going through. So ultimately, the one that you should call on all the time is Jesus. And like you said, Holy Spirit come, fear go. And I'm so excited that you got to experience that, but not only that, but that your kids got to experience that and see the way that even if they were scared, even if they didn't like it, it was fun at the end.
Yeah.
The journey, it was probably a little scary at sometimes, but at the end, when you finally got to the end of it, when you stepped off that boat and now you're able to look back and be like, we went to 6 different bays. We got to go snorkeling. We got to do this. We got to do that. And it kind of goes back to our podcast episode in season 1 where we talked about enjoying the journey.
Yeah.
Like, even though there's sometimes like where we go through rough patches and we have to go through those waves, we still need to look at the good things that came out of it.
Yep. Look at the good things. I think also is if you cut yourself short, we would have missed so much that we didn't know was there. Like, so when we went to one of the beaches, there was like a phenomenal restaurant where I didn't know that I was going to be able to eat just like fish straight from the ocean. My husband caught a mahi while we were fishing. There was no, when Captain Moses asked us to get on the boat, it was just like, oh, I'm going to, let's take a boat ride. It'll be fun for your family. And mind you, it wasn't really a lot of conversation going with it. It was more like pictures he was showing us because he spoke Spanish, I spoke English, and we're trying to communicate to each other and say, figure it all out. But he had a plan. He was like, I'm going to take them to all of these amazing spots. Just let me convince them to get on the boat.
Right.
And it's kind of how like God is with us. He's like, I can't communicate with you. I can't tell you everywhere you're going to go and every experience you're going to have. Let me just convince you to get on the boat because it's going to be amazing. And when we got to the restaurant, and it was like the fish that they were catching in the ocean, they just, they bring it out to you on a platter. And I'm like, oh my God. It just was a completely different experience that isn't in the brochure when you go to a resort, or isn't, a part of
the tourist
attractions. We were in areas where you couldn't drive there. So it was just those times where you have to let your guard down and say, okay, God, you're in complete control. And it's not always those dangerous situations. Sometimes it's just like that little opportunity that you're sitting somewhere and someone asks you, hey, let's go have dinner. And you're looking like, I don't really know you for real. I don't know how long it's going to be. And you're trying to line up your scapegoats and, call me in 5 minutes so I can go. But if you just go for the ride, you never know what's going to happen when you get there. And I think that, these experiences that I've been blessed to have is because of that moment where it felt like the deep for me.
Yes.
To agree to go to Mexico felt like the deep for me.
Yeah.
And I'm like, okay, let's do it. And then to take my kids, it was like everything that I read in the newspapers was just like, I don't really think this is going to be a good idea. But to do it, it was like, oh my God, the experiences, the eye openers that I was able to see and just to trust God.
Yeah.
And I think that that's sometimes when we're looking for levels and we're trying to identify, are we in the deep? It's just those times where God is presenting something that's just random, off the wall. And he's like, can you trust me in it?
Yeah.
And then it's so beautiful when you say yes. So back in December, our pastor had talked to us about diving into the deep. And Courtney and I had some questions, and we actually talked about it before. And one of our biggest questions was, well, how do you know that you're in the deep? And we were asking, like, so you guys know me, I'm always, give me the real, I need the scoop. How do you know personally you're in the deep? And so like our pastor, he gave us his answer, but I still was like, I don't know. I need some more details. Real life, some details. I need the scoop. So when I came back, Courtney and I started talking about it again. So one thing that I can say is from December to July, my idea of the deep and my search for what is the deep has really brought some clarity. Experiences has really brought clarity to what that looks like. And I would say that the deep is when you know that you're in the deep, when all you can say is Jesus. Like your lifeline is Jesus. You have no one else to ask the questions to. So you've passed the place where other people have been in this experience before. So there's no like mentor you're looking for.
Right. You're
past like where your friends and family can understand and process where you are. When you pass all of that, that's when you're in the deep. Like that's when you throw your anchor down and it's like, okay, Jesus, it's me and you, because now I'm in the dark. It's the dark part of the ocean,
right? The
dark blue areas. What are your thoughts, Court?
I think another sign that you're in the deep is when everything that is in you wants to stop. Everything in you wants to quit. Everything in you wants to give up. But you still have that still small voice saying, like, keep going, keep going, keep going. I'm here with you. That's when, because it's the fear that drives the quitting. It's the fear that drives you wanting to give everything up. And we all know that fear is not of God. So when I've gotten to the point when all I can say is, God, help me. God, I need you, because everything in me wants to quit. That's when I know that I'm in the deep. So once we've been in the deep for a while, how do we know that it's time to go deeper? Because what was once our deep is now our shallow.
So when I was when I was in the ocean, right? The current was going, and you're standing on sand, and a wave comes, and you can't touch the ground.
Yeah.
You're in the deep now.
Yeah.
Like, you passed the shallow where you could stand. Now you're in the deep. And the first time it happened to me, I was in a panic. I was like, and like, I started wailing and being, busy in the water, and you're supposed to remain calm. But I didn't know that it could happen that fast.
Right.
I was still in the safe zone. So on the resort, the beach area had the buoys, and you don't go past the buoys because that is what they were saying, the deep. So I'm inside the buoys, and then all of a sudden, I'm outside of where I can stand. And I couldn't even go under and feel the bottom. So I was like, oh, I'm for real deep. And I'm thinking, but I'm inside of the buoys. So I'm wailing, and I'm trying to get myself together, and I'm inside of the buoys. But I was that fast in the deep. When you move from the shallow and into the deep is when you're like, oh my God, this is happening. And then after the first time it happened to me, I started processing and saying, okay, every time the current will take me, and I went from standing to there was no bottom, take that deep breath and relax.
Yeah.
And just do what you already know to do. Like, I know how to swim. I know how to keep myself afloat. I know what I'm supposed to do. So as soon as that current took me and I can no longer stand, and do what I know I can do. So it was just in those moments when life is turning you upside down, it just take that time, take a deep breath, and do what you know to do. Because God has given us every tool that we need.
Yeah.
Every tool and every experience gives us a new tool in our toolbox. And sometimes we don't really, you don't realize it.
Yeah.
You don't realize it, but they're all there. So if you just take that moment to regain your strength, regain your composure, pull the right tool out, and do what you already know to do, because he's never going to put us in a place that he hasn't already prepared us for. And if he hasn't prepared us, he prepared a scapegoat for us. But if we're wailing, you're not going to be able to see it.
Yeah.
You're not calm enough to identify the scapegoat or the new tool or the person that God is putting in our lives to take us to another space. So it's just really...
And simply, again, just when you find yourself in the deep again, you were already in the deep. And then that became your shallow. Go back to know, like you just said, what you know how to do. And even if all you know how to do is to say, Jesus, I need you. Right there. There's your lifesaver.
There's your lifesaver. I mean, it's so simple because, when I was a kid, that's what my mom taught me. She taught me to pray, but she always taught me to say Jesus. So Jesus, Jesus, Jesus. If I can't say nothing else, if I can't formulate a sentence, process a prayer, Jesus, Jesus, Jesus. It's just, and he shows up when he hears his name.
And here's a good thing to go back to. Get out those journals that we told you guys about in season 1 to start. Go back and look through those journals when you guys were in the deep, or when you guys were struggling with something that you had never been in before. And now look at your lives and see the testimony that you have. Those journals were really good to go back to.
Yep. Revisit the strategy of the shallow. Start implementing, because now you're in the deep, it's going to become your shallow.
Yeah. So until next time,
keep it real.
Thank you for listening to this week's episode of Revive Everyday Living.
Be sure to subscribe, comment, and share.
Also, follow us on Instagram and Facebook.